Open black lens bracket. Breaking news. Close black lens bracket. Linear precipitation band forecasted for Nagasaki and Saga prefectures from evening of July 18. Japan Meteorological Agency issues urgent warning. Word count. ~1400. Uniquely written news article. Torrential rain threat looms over Kyushu. Linear precipitation band to strike Nagasaki and Saga. The Japan Meteorological Agency (JMA) has issued an urgent alert predicting the formation of a linear precipitation band, a dangerous meteorological phenomenon associated with torrential and prolonged rainfall, in Nagasaki and Saga prefectures from the late afternoon to early evening on Thursday, July 18. Authorities are warning residents to brace for a potential disaster-level weather event that could bring flash floods, landslides, and widespread infrastructure disruption. This marks another chapter in Japan's increasingly severe and frequent weather disasters, particularly in Kyushu, where complex topography and oceanic conditions create a volatile environment for heavy rainfall events. What is a linear precipitation band? A linear precipitation band, or senjo kasutai (Xianzhuangjiang in Japanese, refers to a long, narrow zone of intense rainfall that remains stationary or moves very slowly. This phenomenon can dump immense amounts of water over the same region for hours. According to the JMA, the expected system may stretch dozens of kilometers across the two prefectures, bringing hourly rainfall rates exceeding 80 mm in some areas. These conditions pose a serious risk of landslides, flash flooding in low-lying areas, and overflow of rivers, stated an official from the JMA's Fukuoka office. Timeline. When and where? According to the latest forecast models updated on Thursday morning, the rain band is expected to begin forming around 4 p.m. in mountainous regions of Saga and progress eastward into parts of Nagasaki by 6 p.m. The most intense precipitation is forecast to last for several hours during the evening commute, compounding risks for both vehicular accidents and delays to public transportation. JMA has designated the timing as extremely dangerous, and emphasized that residents should not wait until rainfall begins to take action. Areas at greatest risk. In Saga Prefecture, Takeo City, already waterlogged from recent rains, Takeo faces a heightened landslide risk. Kashima and Yoshino, low-lying and river-adjacent, flooding concerns are significant. Kuratsu, along the coast, storm surges and river backflows are being closely monitored. In Nagasaki Prefecture, Isahaya and Omura, both cities sit in flood-prone valleys. Sasebo, while coastal, the city's hilly terrain makes it vulnerable to landslides. Unzen area, notorious for past mudslide disasters, authorities have already raised the alert level. Early signs and preemptive measures. By 1 p.m., satellite and radar imagery had begun detecting signs of moisture accumulation in the East China Sea, moving northeast. Local governments in both prefectures have begun coordinating emergency protocols. Saga Prefectural Government issued a Level 3 Evacuation Advisory, Zunbei Katakana Middle. Gaoling J. Deng Bai Nan, for elderly residents in vulnerable districts, including mountainous zones. Nagasaki Prefecture's Crisis Management Division has begun setting up temporary shelters in community centers and school gymnasiums, preparing for potential large-scale evacuations. "We're not taking any chances," said a spokesperson for the Nagasaki Prefectural Disaster Prevention Bureau. Given the nature of linear rain bands, the situation can deteriorate within minutes. Lessons from the past. 2021 Saga flooding still haunts. The 2021 torrential rains that inundated Saga City, causing multiple deaths and billions in damages, serve as a grim reminder of how swiftly disaster can strike. That year, a similar linear precipitation band hovered over the region for nearly 6 hours, triggering over 70 landslides and forcing thousands to evacuate in the middle of the night. Residents like 67-year-old Masaru Yamaguchi from Takeo still remember that night vividly. "The sound of the earth rumbling as the hillside gave way, I never want to relive that," he said. "I packed an emergency bag this morning. I'm not waiting for the sirens." Transportation and infrastructure impact. Junior Kyushu has already announced suspension of local train services on the Sasebo line and the Nagasaki main line between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. as a precaution. Expressways, including the Nagasaki Expressway and parts of the Kyushu Expressway, may impose speed restrictions or temporary closures depending on the development of rainfall intensity. The Kyushu Electric Power Company is also on high alert. In anticipation of lightning and gusty winds accompanying the rain band, backup generators have been placed on standby at critical substations. Emergency preparations and advice. Local governments and the Fire and Disaster Management Agency are urging citizens to charge mobile phones and power banks. Prepare emergency kits with food, water, medication, and flashlights. Avoid rivers, mountain trails, and underpasses. Use weather apps and JMA alerts for real-time updates. Heed evacuation orders without delay. Online resources such as the JMA's official website and local disaster management Twitter accounts are providing live tracking maps and rainfall forecasts. A broader pattern of climate volatility. Meteorologists and environmental scientists suggest that these increasingly frequent linear rain band formations reflect a larger pattern of climate instability. Professor Haruka Matsumoto, a meteorologist at Kyushu University, emphasized that warming sea surface temperatures and the weakening of jet streams may be amplifying precipitation extremes in Japan. Even areas historically safe from flooding are no longer exempt, Matsumoto warned. We must fundamentally reassess urban planning and disaster preparedness frameworks in Kyushu and beyond. Voice from the ground. Meanwhile, the psychological toll is growing. Local schoolteacher Ayaka Fujimoto expressed concern for her students, some of whom live in remote areas vulnerable to mudslides. I had them write down evacuation routes and emergency contacts today in class. We're doing drills more frequently now, she said. They're young, but they understand. They've seen what's happened before. Looking ahead, a nation on high alert. As of Thursday afternoon, meteorological conditions remain highly unstable across western Japan. Other regions such as Kumamoto, Fukuoka, and Oita may also experience spillover effects from the storm system depending on wind direction and pressure changes overnight. The JMA stated it will update forecasts every 30 minutes through the evening of July 18. An emergency warning, Taibei Jingbao, could be issued if rainfall intensity continues to exceed predicted levels, triggering mandatory evacuations across multiple municipalities. Conclusion. The calm before the storm. Japan's rainy season in 2025 has already brought with it more than its fair share of devastation. But for Nagasaki and Saga tonight, the worst may still be ahead. As meteorologists keep their eyes on satellite feeds, and residents prepare for a night of uncertainty, one message echoes across the region. Don't wait. Act now. Your life may depend on it.